Hey, you. Welcome back to the podcast. Super excited, as always, to be here with you. So, today I want to talk to you a little bit about surrendering your now for later. Because when you are trying to lose weight, it is so hard. It is so hard when you wake up every single morning and it feels like nothing has changed. You wake up every single morning and you just step into a season or a momentary lapse of regret where you're just so frustrated because the day before you gave in. You're in a situation where you wake up day after day and it is just repeatedly hard. And sometimes when it's hard, just our human nature kicks in and we just seek easy. We seek immediate relief. We attempt to do everything that we have in our heart to do, and we fail miserably. And then as a result, we find ourselves in this infinite loop where we just keep repeating these patterns that are keeping us stuck. And it's difficult, especially while you're trying to bridge the gap between where you are, where you want to be, and inviting God onto the journey with you. I mean, that's not lost on me. I know how hard that is. I'm in a season right now where I'm trying to invite God in a whole nother area of my life, and He is using my weight loss journey to teach me to grow stronger in the other areas where I'm weak. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about how to do that. How can you crucify what you're feeling in your flesh so that you can step into the promised land that is ahead of you? How you can surrender what you want to see and feel right now in order to receive it later. Because right now, you're in your flesh, you're in your feelings. You want that fullness of food. You want the easy button, right? I mean, but what we need to recognize or be reminded of is that our sinful nature is something we need to crucify every single day, because our sinful nature, the way that we are born into this world with this sinful nature, and the way that we have fostered our sinful nature on our diet, in our dieting mentality and on our weight loss journey, is our sinful nature is where we have cravings. It's where we desire easy. It's where we desire comfort or immediacy or, just this instant relief from whatever it is that is causing us to feel the way we feel. But here's what I want to wake you up to today, because it's what God is waking me up to today as well. Faith in our one true God does not offer short-range benefits that will appeal to our sinful nature. So I need you to realize right now that when you're walking in faith, even in weight loss, there is not going to be an apparent short-term benefit that is going to meet you in your feeler, okay? So let's identify your sinful nature right now. What are the ways that you are exhibiting a sinful nature on your weight loss journey? Is it because you can't override your cravings? Is it because you want the food to magically appear and to taste as good as the other food that you love to eat? Is it because you're just desiring to be comfortable and doing the hard things is uncomfortable? Is it because you want the food to just be in your fridge and look like a Pinterest post and it's not happening fast enough and it's not as pretty? I get it. But what I want to encourage you to do is to recognize that those are the things that you need to crucify. That's you walking in your flesh. I only know this because I have walked in that wilderness for 40 years before God smacked me out of it and said, you need to walk in your faith. And when you are walking in your faith, you are walking with God on the narrow path. There is no short-term benefit. You have to rise up and do the hard things, the things that do not appeal to your sinful nature, because that is you climbing the mountain. That is you walking in your faith and recognizing that what you do now that is hard is going to have long-term benefits. It's going to have reward. It is going to strengthen you to get to that promised land. Our sinful nature is at its very core selfish. I mean, And the essence of God's way of life is going to require selflessness, because our sinful nature is all about me, 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 me. And God is saying, we got to make room for him. We've got to edge ourselves out in order to make room for him. When your sinful nature is at work and you're doing nothing but living according to your flesh and doing all of the selfish things, it's because we do all of that to seek a feeling and to walk in easy. And all of that is just meeting us at our short-range goal. Our short-range goal is easy comfort, immediacy, instant relief, taste, flavor, all of it. It's all to benefit ourselves. All of it at the expense really of our heart's desire. I mean, right now, if God has you on this weight loss journey, your heart's desire might be to lose the weight and to draw God closer. So you need to recognize that that's going to require you to step away from your sinful nature and to accept the fact that the wages of sin are death. Okay? When you give into your sinful nature, the wages there are the death of that dream, the death of what is possible. Connect the dots there. The wages of sin are death. If you know what you should do and you're not doing it, that is sin to you, according to James 4:17. So you are not giving life to what is possible. Instead, you are choosing to give death to what is possible. All because you're choosing to do the easy thing. Your sinful nature is rising up. And God is telling you, crucify it. You need to crucify. You need to choose not to do the easy thing. You need to choose not to worship your comfort and instead worship the Comforter. Awareness of your sinful nature, your desire to please yourself over God, is a wake-up call for somebody, and I hope it's you. When we just desire to do the easy thing, when we desire to just let our sinful nature, our flesh, our feelings, to just be at the helm to lead us, that's us keeping our treasure on earth. And God is saying, store your treasures up in heaven. Crucify your sinful nature now. You don't know what your weight loss journey is going to do to you. My weight loss journey right now is teaching me how to rise up and to stand up stronger in my motherhood. I mean, who even knew? That doesn't even make sense logically in the world's standards. But I'm not walking according to the world's standards. I'm allowing God to teach me how to rise up in motherhood using my weight loss. I mean, that only makes sense in my spirit. So I encourage you right now to stop allowing your treasure to be on earth. God has put something on your heart, and it is on the other side of this mountain that you have got to climb in order to arrive in your promised land. I mean, think about it. The God of this universe is asking you to climb the mountain of weight loss ahead of you. And even more than that, he is offering his hand to help you. But you must decide to trust your faith in him over your feelings of how uncomfortable it is. Instead, you need to start seeing yourself as almost being a discomfort collector. Think of yourself as, I'm going to collect all of these moments of discomfort almost as a means of worship. Oh, I mean, that's powerful, to collect all of it and to see your discomfort as a way that you are walking out a moment of worship. Because all of your discomfort, all of that suffering is for him. Oh, that's powerful if you think about it. So surrender your sin nature, which is just all about you. It's all about yourself. It's really how we exhibit selfishness. And when we surrender our sin nature, which is all about just me, how we feel right now, how we crave easy. Our sin nature is selfish, but the essence of God's way of life is selflessness. The less we worship ourselves, the more we can worship God. The less full of ourselves that we are, the more we make space for Him. And when He is more in us than we are in us, then we have the capacity to do His will. But we have got to seek Him over our own will, over our cravings, our desires, our desire for everything to be easy. I mean, God promises to be on this narrow path, to be in our suffering, to do all of these things with us. He promises to be with us in that suffering, in that hardship. I mean, He does not promise to spare us from any of that. I mean, the Bible is assuring you that you're going to have difficulty, but that He promises you that He is with you. Our adversities, think about it this way, our adversities prove just how much we need Him, because it's in our suffering that we're made stronger, that we're made more Christ-like. Our desire to crucify our sin nature and to please God should overshadow our desire to avoid difficult things or our desire for comfort. When we want to walk more strongly in our faith over our feelings, we do it by accepting that in the suffering, we are being made more Christ-like. I mean, that is powerful. Like I said, you don't know yet what the suffering on this weight loss journey, what it's going to do for you, how it's going to strengthen you, how God will use it for the next thing that He is trying to prepare you for. So today I want to encourage you to embrace God's way more diligently as you crucify the desire for immediate results. I mean, remember this, faith in one true God does not offer nowhere. It does not offer short-range benefits that will appeal to your sin nature. The essence of sin is selfishness, and the essence of God's way of life is selflessness. We must seek Christ's help to live God's way, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, even in weight loss.